Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
We're live. It's Saturday. It's 9 p.m. in Old Blighty. It must mean it's time for another The War Room with these two guys, IDJester and Nate. I hope you're all doing very well. We'll say hello to you in a minute, so make sure you say hello to us. Yes, we've been to the old London series 2024.
You were an American for a day.
I was an American for a day.
And how did it feel?
The reason I picked Phillies is because of their Philly cheesesteak.
Did you have it? How was the cheesesteak?
It was okay. No mushrooms. But they didn't have any New York strips, so I couldn't do the other one. So let me just sort out the comments.
Did you enjoy being a colonist for a day?
It was great. There were a ton of Americans there.
Oh, really?
Wow. Yeah. I tell you what, there was over the weekend. There was 180,000 getting on for.
Oh.
So it was I mean, it was packed. It was great. I can see why. It is a day out. It's not just a day out. We had things come on. They were doing stuff with the audience. There was the mascots, and then there was the national anthems and all that.
Did they have an organ play throughout?
Yeah, all that cheesy stuff. And we had to sing at the end of the
sing.
Yeah, we did all that. Yeah. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The thing is, I wasn't downstairs. We were quite high up. So I couldn't get any of the balls they weren't knocking them up where we were. But anyway, it was fantastic. And we're going again next year. Gaynor thoroughly enjoyed it. I think we've got to convert.
Nice.
I think we've got to convert. But anyway, how are you guys doing, Jester?
Are you gonna migrate sometime soon over here then?
I'd love to go over there and watch one for real. But it was as real as you could get because they were both American teams. Lots of Americans there.
What was the score? What was the final score?
Well, we thought we were going to win. It was like, what was it? 6-1 or something. I can't remember the score, but it was, we're going to win this. And then suddenly they got a load of runs and all home runs, and they beat us, pipped us at the post. Wow. So I think we won the night before. I say we, it's only because I'm wearing this. Phillies won the night before. So it was a draw, if you like, one all. And I'm not sure. Do they go towards the World Series, or is it just exhibition matches? I don't know.
I don't know, actually.
6-5,
part of their schedule. They have 162 games. So win or loss, it counts just like a regular season game. Yes,
there we go then. So, yeah, it was great. It was brilliant. So, yeah.
Nice.
Excellent.
So how are you doing, guys? Jester?
I'm doing great. I'm having a great week. I had a lot of things going on this week, and it's been all good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to getting some more games and doing some more stuff. I'm just excited. Notice I have 2 boxes over here now.
I was just going to say,
one's the game that shall not be mentioned, and this is my new game there.
That shall be mentioned at some point.
We'll do an unboxing of it sometime. It's just it's just a game and some extra stuff that I ordered this last week. So
I still want to see at least at some point, take the game that shall not be named and just toss it in the back.
Cost him too much money. He can't name it, but it cost him hundreds of dollars.
It cost me too much. Yeah, it cost me too much. I don't know if I'm just gonna hold on to it maybe in a couple of years and see if maybe it becomes one of these, games that you could sell for $500, because according to everyone out there, every Kickstarter that's ever been produced is worth triple the value in 3 years.
Or you could just sell it to Noble Knight and you get money there.
Yeah. I don't know, but I got a game on the table here.
What is that?
That is
I love the professional. I love the way it's like smooth as gravy, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love the transitions.
Yeah.
And a couple of the people in the chat, Mike Butterjelly and Meandering Mike, were helping me with some of the rules and stuff. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I had a great time playing Undaunted Stalingrad. As you know, I just picked that up this week.
You're getting to like that game, aren't you?
I'm really liking that one. I'm getting to like it a lot. I think it's a great little system. The interesting thing about the campaign, or the Stalingrad, is it adds a campaign, so you'll lose units. Some of your units will be upgraded. Some of the terrain pieces will be different every time you play through them. It's interesting. I really like Undaunted, so I'm liking it.
Good. Nate, how are you? What have you been up to? Tell us all your secrets.
Oh, it has been.
Say hello to everybody in the chat.
It's been a busy week. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to any gaming this week because my PhD has kept me busy. I've been doing a lot of reviews of books. We have to do, as part of the process, is go through and find out it's called the historiography, or how historians are arguing about a certain topic, and each week we have a different topic that we look at, and then we have to go and research at least 6 sources, if not more, and kind of read through them and discuss what the arguments are and everything. So it's been pretty busy. Actually, right after the show, I have to go and finish that, and then I have to write a review for a book that I found to be actually really interesting. It's called The Ideological Origins of the American Revolution.
Sorry. It sounds fantastic. Sorry.
Me personally, I'm interested in it because I like ideas. I'm a big idea guy, so I want to know like where the ideas for the American founding came from. And so, yeah, that'll be fun. But in terms of gaming, I did have something.
You did say you were doing something in the green room, yes?
Yes. I am working on and almost finished with my Death in the Trenches review. And I like to write up a review, and then I'll go and film it. And so I'm almost finished with the write-up part, and me and my buddy Ryan have set aside time that we're going to film it and edit it and everything. So I don't know when that's going to come, but it will be coming at some point. So I'm very excited for that.
Nate, people don't realize it takes an age to edit and things, because I was hoping to get up to Skies of Britain this week, but I've only just finished editing it. So it's just anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Today's subject, we've got are content creators a good thing for wargaming? So we'll have a chat about that later on. But first, we've got sort of 40 odd people in here. So let's say hi.
Oh, Christoph.
Yeah, Christoph. Yes.
Rob.
Marty. Viper Dave. See, those Christoph and Viper Dave are...
Viper Dave lives about 10 minutes from my house.
Oh, right.
I keep threatening that we'll get together one of these days. And
him and Christoph are flying Spitfires at the moment. So, on Skies Above Britain. Stephen, how's it going?
I would like to see your little reply, because I know Phoenix Knight also did a target for today and had a lot of us. I was one of the guys in his plane doing stuff. So I'd like to find out, Ruff, if I'm going to live through your campaign.
Well, I tell you what, it's quite exciting for you and Tony. Oh. So you'll have to wait.
He probably left me at the airport.
No, the thing is, because they're all friends and subscribers and YouTubers, I've been picking them. I pick them randomly, so I'm not accused of favoritism. Yeah.
Sure.
You got your favorites. We know. Yeah.
Well, he picks it and he looks at. No, I don't like that one.
He just edits that out. He just until he gets the one.
That's right.
Then he's like, then I could just
everyone.
And I didn't like that dice roll. I'll roll again.
No.
Oh, look,
go back and watch his. He did a replay.
That's Dungeon Brush Babbles that's a new one. So hi to you.
Dungeon Brush. What's going on?
Thomas.
We need to get some new blood here.
Lots
We
of
are.
people here.
We do. And I think, oh, look, there's Spitfire Joe. Sorry, Snooker Joe.
Wow.
So it's good. We do get lots of people. Oh.
Hello,
Man,
He's
Paul.
from Philly. He's a Phillies fan.
There's some really cool thing happened with me and Paul this week. So you remember last week, Jester, when you mentioned going through your segment about one of the games in the top 500 was 1914 Twilight in the East. And I mentioned I'm interested in playing that. And Paul offered it. And so after the show, he sent me a message and we were talking back and forth and sent him some money for the shipping and I got it.
Wow.
Oh, right.
And then,
he did come. He came.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
Wow.
now talk about my surprise. You know, when I opened a box and saw this thing, at first I was as excited as all get out. You should have seen me in my house.
Behave yourself. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. And then beneath it was another game in the system, the Serbian game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow. And he sends me a message. He goes, yeah, there's extra space. So I thought I'd throw this in there. And I'm like, this is really cool. Thank you. And now let me tell you this too. This is really, really cool is, you know, that this game was taken care of well. See, I'm a very picky person when it comes to, I like clipping all my counters.
Yes, got to be done.
But I'm very, very particular about they got to be nicely rounded and everything. Well, you know that Paul took care of this game because these are clipped perfectly, and I was so excited.
A bonus.
That's right. And so I will be enjoying this at some point.
Kev, just don't have rough clipper counters for you.
No, I'll be stop signs.
No, they were. That was my first game I bought. If you don't know the story, the first ever war game I bought was Fields of Fire, and I thought, they're clipping the corners. I can see why they're little furry bits. Let's get the old nail clippers out. And they do. They look like stop signs. So that's why I never did a playthrough. Looking forward to the new deluxe version of it. So
did you order that? Did you P500?
Oh God, did I? Yes. Oh yeah. I might give the old one away so people can go, yeah, there's Ruff's. Look at that. Look at he's done to these counters. Look. So might give that away to somebody.
Oh, look at do you see Mike's announcement? Wolfpack is officially at the printers now.
Where? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
Officially at the printers, so 3 months and 6 weeks, and we'll be back.
Yeah. This time next Christmas. Hi, Philip.
This time next Christmas.
Don't have a crash.
It'll probably be 3 months. So what are we in? June, July, August, September. Yeah.
Yeah. See, everybody's seeing it, Nate. Everybody's seeing it. You're getting these games in now.
Not one has taken off since I've been on the show.
Yeah. You wait.
Yeah. Just we can't see the bottom shelves, so he's probably got games down there already.
Here. There you go. See, they're all still there.
All right.
So I would be curious to know is how long did it take for being on this show for Ruff to pull the first book off and replace it with a game?
How long it took me?
Yeah, how long did it take you? I would be curious to kind of go through all.
If you go through, I've got them all on my channel. So if you go through, start at the beginning, and so is Jester, of course, you'll see over as the weeks go on.
It didn't take him too long.
Didn't take him too long, no.
But he also was very disorganized back then. He would just have books and all kinds of stuff to sell.
Yeah, it was the academic in me. It was the academic. You know,
like, dude, what's wrong with your shelves? Those look horrible. And I think I embarrassed him. So then he decided, I better take care of these shelves.
Jester, I'm waiting for when you get shelves.
Where am I going to put them?
True. I mean,
we don't need that window at the back. Just block that off and put some nice load of shelves there. IKEA, bomb.
That's right. Oh man,
I don't know about that. I don't know. It's just.
I mean,
If,
so
what's what you guys see isn't even half of it. It's literally.
I mean, let me ask this. Okay, so you have obviously these piles there. Oh, what's the organization method for the piles?
At this point, it's whatever the newest games are closer to me. Every of the all the other ones are. Get rid of. There's an idea. I know we got a nice right over here. Nice couch. You can see there's stuff in front of the couch now.
So you can't even sit on it. So there's no point for the couch.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know. But let me know how you get on if it's your first Civil War game. Let me know how you get on.
It looks like an interesting game.
Yeah. Let me know. No.
Yeah, a little.
Does it? It's going to come a longer distance. By the time it gets over the ocean here, the echo and the sound is sort of caught up.
That's right. It's got to go through those undersea cables.
No, I'm talking about through the air.
Oh, through the air. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Through the ether.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't think it's
Liam Bird. Are they piles or are they heaps of games?
It's just
there's an idea.
It's just too much.
Yeah,
it's just too much.
I
am going to be getting rid of some of them. So I keep saying that, but I'm going to be getting rid of some of these. I got a whole stack of them. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So
I remember when I first started watching this show, that your case back there, Jester, your shelves and everything, you had model planes.
I do have model planes still. They're stacked up on my chair right there.
Yeah, make sure you don't sit on them.
They're all stacked up on my chair because they lost of space.
Oh man!
Oh dear, it's not making me laugh. So
it was just a lot of good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So have a think about the subject and what you think about it, because we're us being YouTubers, we're a bit, anyway. But have a think about the subject and what you think. We'll put our tuppence worth in, as we say over here. So
hope you find it.
Oh, don't.
There's a lot of them.
I tell you what,
if you need a replacement copy, mine's for sale.
Well, weren't you supposed to be sending that to who is it? Nordic?
It was supposed to come to you, and then you bought it.
It's true.
Oh, sorry, wrong one. That was supposed to. They're all these chats. I try to mess them up.
Oh, there was a great meme I saw this week that I actually sent to someone. It said, let me pull out and see if I can find it real quick.
Here's the thing. My wife says the same thing, but I'm not a hoarder.
There we go.
Everything I have is very organized and it's very. I can tell you where every single game is. Hoarders don't do that. Hoarders just throw shit wherever they want to throw it. I am very organized. If you name a game, I could tell you where it is. I could probably go get it within a couple seconds. I could probably tell you where it is.
Well, the meme that I found was that someone had shared online was that I don't hoard games. I just buy them faster than I play them.
I think that's
a good one. I need a T-shirt that says that.
I think that applies to war gamers, non-war gamers, all gamers. I think that's...
Yeah, it is funny. Yeah, Mike, it's exactly what hoarders say. I know where everything is. It's in that pile over there. Oh,
yeah. Well, keep it to yourself. Build up all these thoughts. If you look at the description to this live stream, you'll see I put some sort of pointers to maybe you to have a think about.
You got a PowerPoint for us? Nice.
No. In the description.
In the description. Oh.
There's some points.
I was getting excited. I thought maybe we were going to see, Ruff as the teacher now.
Don't. That's what I do. I don't want to do it anymore. I've had enough. I want to retire.
You're going to be a professional.
You're going to retire and become a YouTuber.
Yeah, make my millions.
That's right.
Hoarders are collectors. That's right.
Yeah.
Look at somebody that hoards. They just have shit everywhere. I don't have shit
everywhere. I know you're moaning about this, and it's not great because I had to put them on their side, and that really hurts. Every time I come up here, I go, oh my God. But they're in my order. They're in game company order. which is how I
And
do
you know
my
what it is. Like if I say rough, get me Plum Island Horror, you'd be able to turn around and pick it up right there. Boom.
go.
Yeah, there you are. You know where it is.
Because it's at the end of the end of the GMT games because it's one on its own. See,
I organize mine in chronological order.
Yeah, I can't because you'll have boxes like this, and it'll just no, it's they'll be all over the place.
Chronological order. What are you, insane?
That's
not
fine.
Organizing.
If the boxes were standard for every company, then that would be fine. But they're not.
Try putting a game like
we're nuts.
To put a game like
yeah, but you've got too many, Mike.
This is what I used to have. The problem is my room used to be twice as big as I have it now. I don't have the room that I used to have.
Christoph, so. Yes.
Well, I mean, I am I am waiting for, because you remember, Jester, Ruff did tell you that he was going to buy you a shed.
Yeah.
For your birthday. So
waiting on my shed.
I didn't say buy, I said make.
Oh, make. Oh, even better. So he's going to come over to you.
No, I'm going to send it. No, I'm sending a nail at a time because of the cost of the shipping. And then what we're going to do is send a plank of wood every so often. And, well, of course, I'll send the plans first so he knows what he's doing, But,
speaking of which, I'm actually expecting a package from Old Blighty.
Oh, who from?
From Victrix.
And it's not Old Blighty, it's Old Blighty. Without the D. Old Blighty.
OLD or OLE?
OL apostrophe Blighty. So it's like Old Blighty. Remember, we sort of go blah, blah, blah with our words.
Okay, how about this? I'm expecting a package from the old world.
You know what? Here's an interesting thing. This is about our topic. Within the last just a couple days, I've actually gotten a lot of posts, 3 or 4 that I know right off the top of my head, from people who commented and said really, really nice things about me.
Are you sure
I will read them to you. Are you ready for this?
No. You sure they're not sent to somebody else? They've been redirected. What's going on?
Let's see. I want to read them to you.
Ian, it was miniatures. Yes, I bought my first historical miniature.
If I can find.
We do make the best miniatures.
So from William, I'll keep your last name private in case you're here. It says, "Great gaming. I appreciate and love your channel." All right, very nice. Let's see. Well, let's see here. Let's go back. And I think the other ones were during the live stream, so they wouldn't show up here. So I'd have to go back to the live stream and watch the live stream. But, yeah, it's always nice to get a good, nice reply back from people that – I mean, there's a lot of the usual people that post comments and this, that, and everything. But when you get Joe Schmo that you don't know, like – who he is or whatever, and he tells you these really nice things, Ruff, doesn't that make you feel good?
Yes, and we all get them, and it's great. And you think, oh, where did that come from? And that makes you think,
this is why I do it. We all get them, Ruff.
This is what I did.
Get them.
You sure it's not what Mike said? Maybe it's somebody trying to sell you something.
Is it Nigerian? Were they Nigerian?
It's a Nigerian prince.
You just, yeah.
You notice the people on YouTube are much nicer than our chat people.
I know, but they're being cheeky. They're being cheeky.
Oh, we love them all.
We love the cheekiness. But yeah, when you get a nice comment, it's like, I think, oh yes, well I do it. I'm glad you appreciate it. And you get some nice comments. And this is again tying into the thing. And so yeah, you've made me want to buy the game. The one I get a lot of is, "Thanks, Ruff. You just cost me money again."
Yeah, I get a bunch of this.
So
and I also get, like, from a video from like 4 years ago, I get a post and it says, "During 26 minutes, you mentioned this, blah, 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 blah."
Well, you're lucky you get a timestamp.
Why did you do that? And I'm like, dude, this is like video from 4 years ago. I don't remember yesterday.
I don't even get a timestamp. Right. When you move that thing into that and I'm going, and I'm saying, sorry, it's been 3 years or whatever it is since I played it. You're probably right. So
this is a great question.
That's an interesting question.
Absolutely great question, because this is a great question, Edward. As you guys know, or if you've been around my channel for a while, you notice that at one point last year, I basically told my sports guys I'm not doing sports anymore.
You were going to chuck a load of stuff away.
Go elsewhere, because I'm not doing sports anymore, because I wasn't getting the views and I wasn't getting the time, and it was costing me way too much money to buy the sports games and everything else. To be honest, I would say I get about 50% of my views are from my sports people. My sports people are the best people out there. And of the 50% left, about 30% are Wargamers and 20% for Euro games, which is surprising because I play more Euro games than I do anything else.
Oh, and congratulations!
Amazing.
Congratulations on getting 200 views on your videos. I think it was 200, wasn't it?
No,
I think it was an average of 380 or something like that.
2 million, wasn't it?
It was 2. Yes, I did hit 2 million views the other day. So thank you. I would have had a contest if I would have known it was coming up. To be honest, I would have had a contest, a free giveaway. I was giving away a game called Banish the Snakes. It's a great game. You'll love it.
When he says that, you know he didn't like it.
Out of curiosity, did either of you watch the relatively new video from Wise Guy History about overcoming wargame morale?
Yes. Yeah.
I found that really interesting, really fascinating, actually, because it is actually an interesting topic concerning things that contribute to us not wanting to or not wanting to play a game. And I know he's starting to get into Vassal, and I thought I'd try it again myself.
That's a good thing. I mean, what he was saying was, especially if you've got a monster game, it's taking you 4 hours to set it up, and you move half a dozen pieces. You go, no, that's wrong. I've got to set this up again. Yeah,
I've been saying it for years, and nobody listens to me. Wise Guy says it, and everyone talks about it.
Like, he's a professor.
It's like payoff pitch. I will never forget this. Like, I've done payoff pitch for the last 5 years on my channel. Like, on and off for 5 years, I've done payoff pitch. And then one of my sports guys decides he's going to do payoff pitch, and everyone goes goo goo gaga over it. It's like, dude, I've been doing this game for 4 years.
What it is, Jester, is that you are part of the furniture. You are well known, and you're just there.
I'm just there.
When somebody new does it, it's like, oh.
Now there is a way to refer to someone. You're part of the furniture.
I was in the comments, and someone's. No, I was posting.
I meant that as a nice.
I know you did.
I was posting comments, helping them with the rules, and somebody in the comments said, "Hey, Jester, do you play this game?"
No,
you said. Yeah, that makes me laugh when they say that. I said, you haven't seen the channel, have you?
I guess you don't know what I do on my channel.
Yeah, no, it's not as queer as folk, as they say over here. It's an expression that's very true.
I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of, since we're talking about YouTubing and all this, right? I do get a lot of great comments from the war gamers, though. I'm not trying to put the war gamers down. My sports guys, they will watch every video that I do, which is super good. The war gamers, though, they usually have really good comments, like, "Oh, this is really nice," or "I've never seen this game," or "Wow, now you cost me a lot of money."
Or have you read the rules? Or
oh, now I understand how to play the game. Things like that. So the war gamers do a really good job of commenting and letting me know, hey, you did a good job.
And most of them, 99% of them, when they because I always encourage people to tell me if I've made a boo-boo, as I call them, because videoing and playing the game is believe it or not, ladies and gents, is quite hard to do because you've got things going on. So I always encourage people to let me know. But nicely. You know, I don't mind anybody telling me where I went wrong, and 99% of the people are great, and they go, "Oh, Ruff, I think you made a mistake there," blah blah, and it's great because I can go, "Thanks for that," and then I let people know in the next video that I made this mistake, and thanks for letting me know. But yeah, it's that sort of 0.011% that, yeah. I always like, and I always reply, and I always.
There's always assholes out here because
yeah, sure.
The one thing I said about this game was, I'm going to be yelling and screaming and bitching about this game. If you're a fanboy, go watch another video because this game is not going to have anything positive to say. And the first comment I got from some jerk who said, all we're going to do is complain about this game. It's a great game. Why don't you try and play it? I banned him. So I'm like, dude, I warned everyone like 5 times in that video. I said, I'm going to ban you if you post a comment and say, why don't you just play the game? I have no desire to play this game. I'm not playing the game. I don't care how good a game it is. It ran its course. It's done with me. It might as well be dead.
Ruff.
I'm just going to say, if I do get a comment like that, like somebody going, I'll say, well, thanks for that. I shall look forward greatly to your interpretation video of how you should play this game. And I don't hear from them ever again.
Yes,
it's crazy, weird.
So you fight snark by being snarky.
Well, no, being cleverly snarky.
Oh. Right. That's exactly what I said in my GMT when I rated all the GMT games. I said, this is my list. If you don't agree with my list, I will be more than happy to come watch it.
That's enough normally. They go, okay.
More than happy to come watch
I don't agree
video.
with it, but it's his list. Yeah, that's fine. But me joking about the snarkiness, that is so rare. It's like hen's teeth because most people are lovely. And I love you all. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Even the snarky ones you love.
Even the snarky ones, because maybe they need a bit of extra.
I mean, extra love. I understand. Like, obviously, we all don't like negative comments on anything that we do, whether it's a video or something
constructive,
right? But sometimes the negative, the odd negative comment can be constructive. Especially when it's a good opportunity to be self-reflective. Okay, was there something better I could have done that did not reach that individual? And it informs us on when we create new stuff.
And that's helped me. And thank.
Oh,
yeah.
Very cool.
Leonard says, put letters back up there.
Hold on, what we got?
Some of the best videos are older from a non-war gamer like me. Okay. I love to hear feedback one way or the other.
Yeah. And I've got things like, that video, some of it, I couldn't see what the counter was. I couldn't see, it was a little bit out, it was a bit too far away. So that's why now I want to zoom in to specific parts of the board, and that takes just that. Then you've got to realize, boys and girls, that it takes much longer to get a video edited together. But I do take it on board. I don't get many of those, but nice constructive comments make us better YouTubers, which makes hopefully a better experience for everybody.
Well, and it's like I completely agree with what Mike said. When you put anything on the internet, it's there forever, and 2 is it's open for the world to critique. I mean, I used to when I was teaching in high school, I used to teach a technology class, and part of it was about social media and things that you post and things like that. And I was trying to teach to middle and high school students that, don't forget, by the way, when you put something on the internet, it's there for the entire world to see and to critique you, as well as it's there forever. And people 20 years from now, 5 years from now, will come back to your stuff. And like you guys, they go to an old video and they comment on it. And obviously, you guys aren't expected to remember everything that you did in a video 5 years ago or why you did something at the time. But it is nice to see that people are still watching those.
That's the thing, isn't it? As you say, but luckily we're in a niche within a niche within a niche that 99% of the peeps are as nutty as we are and love the hobby. So we tend to get less. If we're a political channel, then of course we're opening ourselves up for, and that's fair enough. And it's quite right. When you put stuff on the internet, you're exposing yourself artistically, as it were, and you're open to criticism as well as
it's a risk,
and that's fine as long as it's done with
maybe it's just me, but I don't ever get anyone like criticizing. Very rarely do I ever get anyone complaining about something. Mostly it's like I said, positive things. Positive this, positive that, or you cost me a lot of money, or this is really good. Or
I will say this, that when it comes to, for me personally, for really anything that I put out there, whether it's a video or if I write something like my master's thesis is posted online and people have downloaded it, things like that, and is the way that I look at receiving the way I look at receiving feedback is that I kind of look at it in of how do I value the feedback that I'm getting. So depending on the individual that's giving me that feedback, someone that I really greatly admire, someone that I trust, someone that I know is wanting me to improve, I'm going to listen to that feedback more readily and take it more seriously, as opposed to a random person out in the middle of nowhere that leaves a comment. Sure, I might look at it and judge whether or not that is valuable enough for me to take that feedback, and like the negative feedback, I should say, and improve upon it. But a lot of times I just look at it, okay, whatever, and I move on, and not to take it personally, because I'm fine with what I put out there, and that's kind of how I look at things.
But also, you put somebody behind a keyboard without any sort of identity, you're going to get these people tip-tapping away. So yeah, I mean, you have to look at it.
That is true. What I like to do, and I don't know if anyone else does this, but what I like to do is, for my YouTubers that I follow out there, I usually post comments and build a relationship with them.
Sure.
And, let them know, hey, good job, I really like this, blah blah blah, and so they recognize me, like Ruff said, hey, oh. And so, like, when I post a comment, there was a guy that was doing a video on a game the other day, did like a review and whatever. And I said, hey, I would really like to learn how to play this game. If you could, do us like a playthrough of it, that would be awesome. I wasn't at that point some random dude on the internet, because I'd build up a relationship.
Right.
That's why I tell you guys all the time, post comments on people's channels so you can build a relationship up. So he did. He made a video of him playing through the game and teaching the game because I asked for it, and I thought that was super cool.
Let me sort
That's right. In real life, if some of the comments some channels happen in real life, there would be a different reaction. But it's keyboard warriors. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt.
Let me sort of refine what I meant in my comment in terms of I really was meaning in terms of how I judge comments back and feedback, of whatever I do, is I judge it based on if it's negative content. Then I judge, okay, is this valuable advice, or is this just negative for being negative sake? And if it's just negative for being negative, then it's not actually providing any value for me to go in and figure out, okay, how do I improve upon that? Because I was watching a video the other day actually concerning a game developer, like a video game developer, was talking about when they publish a video game on Steam, and then they get all these, hundreds and thousands of comments in forums and reviews like that. And some people, they start threads and they're just angry, and they just have nothing good to say about it. And the developer said, okay, well, we read that as the developer, and we think, well, what are we supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do with just a negative comment?
Just a
there's nothing like, how are we supposed to take that feedback and improve upon it? And so he just said, we see that review, we note it, and then we just chuck it and move on. And I think me personally, I kind of look at that the same way, is how can that feedback help me be a better content person, a better historian, a better writer, things like that. And if it's just an overly negative comment, then, sorry.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen some comments about, war games from fellow YouTubers, and the comments are sort of like, oh, read the rules, why are you? And I'm thinking, that's why my videos say, look, these aren't in-depth tutorials how to play the game. This is me playing a game you like, looking over my shoulder, seeing if you like it and whether or not it's for you, or just being entertained by my daftness. People are just, woo! And I said, there's going to be mistakes. There'll probably be mistakes. If they are, let me know. Let me know in the comments. So there's that sort of get out, but there's no need for like, oh, read the rules before you play it.
Or clip your name.
Rules. We have read the rules, but we're videoing and playing a game, trying to juggle, lots of things. Not that I'm saying, I'm not going like, I'm so hard done by. But yeah, it's cuts a break sometimes. We're doing this because we love it. I'm hoping you enjoy it.
You should start every video like this, Rob.
Or
Jester, I know what
the guy that complained about your fingernails.
He could brush his head.
But there we go. That's just my tuppence worth. And I like to make mistakes as well, not on purpose. But if I make mistakes, it means probably many people might have made that same mistake.
Sure.
Or might have made that mistake.
Well, then look, too, on the positive side is that if someone points out a rule that you messed up, it means they're watching.
Yes. And they know the game, and it's like, and they're helping me out. Oh, you missed this out. But it's also, I try, that's why it takes so long as well, because I'll go through the video, and if I make a mistake and I think, I can get away with just putting something in the video saying, I should have done this. And if I finish videoing, I say, I'm going to sort that out in a minute. Or if I can't, I just say, I know I messed up there. So at least people are aware that I've messed up. And it's something that they should be aware of if they play the game, because I've missed it, And
so. I have to agree with Christoph. I liked your intro. I do like it.
Well, that thing, my friend wrote that for me.
Oh, nice.
And did the video for me, and that's what there is actually a credit in the description for him, so it's that I can't get it out of my head either, and I've listened to it for like yonks. It's just
plus rough. There's something great I love about your videos that you won't understand necessarily because you live over in England.
I'm going to go red.
It's your accent. I love the English accent, and I could hear anything in an English accent, and I'll believe it.
You know what? I know. I'm not. That gets commented on quite a lot as well. Love the accent. I can't help it. It's what I've got. But maybe because
you should do an audio versions of rule books.
Well, I did say to because there's not many of us on the Wargaming YouTube circuit, as it were. But I did say to Mark from Flying Pig Games, when you do a new version of your of Herman's game, the big Civil War game.
Oh yeah, Most Fearful Sacrifice.
Yeah, the guy they have for that is a faux British. It's a faux British accent because I can tell. And I said, pick me next time. I can do posh. I'm like Michael Caine. I can do South London, where I'm from, South London, but I can also do posh like Zulu. So
nice.
Let's have a look what we got here.
Dan and Tim has a good comment, which I think we talked about in the war room before we started.
Oh, I see. Hold on. Where are we? Are you all right down here? This one?
Yes.
Yeah. All good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will tell you this is I have been really, really pleasantly surprised of just how really kind and people are in the war game niche. People are really willing to point out, like, like I see on like Facebook posts like that, whenever I do get on Facebook, is, I'm interested in this topic. Are there any games on this? And it just, people fill it up with all kinds of really cool suggestions of games, or people put a question on there of, I don't know, I understand this rule. Can someone help me? And people are very willing to help out. And I've been very, very appreciative of someone who's relatively new into the hobby.
So that was on Facebook or?
Yeah, it was. I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, there's some great specialist channels, if you like, that are very helpful to idiots like me.
But I mean, it just overall, the people seem to be in the war game hobby. We all know this is a small hobby, and we all enjoy the hobby, and we want to grow that hobby. So,
I mean, not so much. I mean, there's a lot of people on Facebook I've found that don't use YouTube or haven't heard of YouTube creators. Right. They tend to have their own little enclave within Facebook, and that's fair enough. But generally speaking, everybody knows everybody else. It's very incestuous in a nice way, not in a horrible, no, but in a sort of nice way. Everybody knows everybody. Creators know each other.
Yeah.
Subscribers are subscribing to lots of channels. So, like, for instance, our lot probably all subscribe to us three. So everybody knows everybody else. And it's like a big family, which is why I love this Saturday nights, because it's like them taking the mickey out of us for 2 hours and having a great time and us loving it, so it's good. But anyway, what should we do? Should we do something?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you fancy? Should we do your book? You want to do your book stuff?
Sure.
Should I do my history? Because I like to leave Jester's stuff till last, because it's good. I like that. I like to see what's coming up. I quite like. Yeah, that's what you've come up with there, Jester, is I look forward to seeing what's it's like Top of the Pops. It's like the countdown, the top 20 of the records. It's really good.
Jester, you ought to do it'd be really, really funny is when you get to number one, is take a screenshot of the Tide of Iron BGG page, but then alter it so it says number one.
Number one. I know.
See, you should have known about this. It was number one. Question.
Yeah, I'm just checking. Yeah, they're very. Yep.
Before you start, I would say there are a lot, and I agree with everything Ralph said about our war game community, but I would say the same thing about the sports game community, and it seems like they're almost side by side because they're very small communities, they're a niche of a niche, and they all kind of support one another. Wargaming community is the same way, a niche of a niche, we all support one another, we all have a great time with one another. And I find that with other communities as well.
Yeah,
I think it's always that way until you get into a big organization like Magic.
Yeah,
how was your Magic experience?
There are lots of a-holes in that. At the local level, it's great because everybody supports, the Magic clubs locally. And all that sort of thing were great. And it's the same with music, which I've been involved in since I could speak. At the local level, the local music clubs are great. Everybody supports each other. But you come out and everybody, it's just, it's toxic. It really
and you turn it into a business with money. Yeah. People then care all of a sudden.
Yeah, and there's lots of egos going around. Same with Magic. Anything you perform, and I mean, I look at this, and I'm glad I performed, have done acting, music, all that sort of thing, and it helps my YouTube. And I don't think twice about when I video a YouTube how I talk, if you like. But yeah, when egos are involved, then that's when you get problems. And yes, there are some egos in our niche, but they are very, very few and far between. And you can just go, get away, off UF, that sort of thing.
So are we ready for my?
I'm just going to check. No, it's costing him more money.
You guys cost me a lot of money before I joined the show.
It's good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember when I got started, and I didn't actually find out about your show until something like a year into the War Room. And I more or less for every day until I could get all caught up, I watched a stream and was just it was very exciting, especially because I mean, still even in 20 what you guys started in 2020, right?
We started in 2019.
2019. Okay. Yeah. I remember I think it was late 2020 when I found you all. And so, we're all still locked in, couldn't go anywhere. Yeah, yeah. It was great to be able to just sit there and listen to other people talk besides myself, because I was starting to lose it, so to speak. I want to get out of these four walls and everything. But it was exciting to learn all the new games that were out there that I didn't know existed, and to just go, let me go check that out. And like Ruff, I mean, I immediately was loving everything that there was.
I still do, 99.9%.
Except for the tactical games, Nate.
Yeah, tactical games still.
That's the problem. That's the other thing YouTubers do, is cost you bloody money.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll tell you what, I'll do my history then, and then we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll have Nate's book of the week. Yeah? Or do you want to do it first?
Okay, you go ahead with your history.
Yeah, I'll get my nonsense out of the way.
Okay.
Not that it's nonsense. I love it. I love learning stuff every
well,
week.
Know that, speaking of this day in history, that yesterday was the end of the Falklands.
Yes, and it's just like a wrong day, and I can't, another 7 years I can have it on the history thing. So, lots of jumps forward. Not so much early history this time, 15th of June, 1864. We start with the American Civil War. The Second Battle of Petersburg begins. And then we whiz forward a few years to 1877. This was quite interesting. Henry Ossian Flipper became the first African-American cadet to graduate from the United States Military Academy. And quite an interesting chap. He was born March 21st, 1856, and died April 26th, 1940. He was an American soldier, engineer, former slave, and in 1877, the first African-American to graduate from the United States Military Academy at West Point, earning a commission as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. He was also an author who wrote about scientific topics and his life experiences. After his commissioning, he was assigned to one of the all-black regiments in the US Army, which were historically led by white officers. Assigned to A Troop under the command of Captain Nicholas M. Noland, he became the first non-white officer to lead Buffalo Soldiers of the 10th Cavalry. Flipper served with competency and distinction during the Apache Wars and the Victorio Campaign, but was haunted by rumors alleging improprieties. Eventually, he was court-martialed and dismissed from the US Army. After losing his commission in the Army, Flipper worked throughout Mexico and Latin America as an assistant to the Secretary of the Interior. He retired to Atlanta in 1931 and died of natural causes in 1940. Bit of a postscript here. In 1994, his descendants applied to the US military for a review of Flipper's court-martial and dismissal. The review found the conviction and punishment were unduly harsh and unjust, and recommended Flipper's dismissal to be changed to a good conduct discharge. Shortly afterwards, an application for pardon was filed with the Secretary of the Army, which was forwarded to the Department of Justice. President Bill Clinton posthumously pardoned Lieutenant Henry O. Flipper on February the 19th, 1999, 118 years after his conviction. So I thought that was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Then we whiz forward to 1936, the first flight of the Vickers Wellington bomber.
Picture?
I've got a picture. Hold
there
on.
We go.
Hold on. let's get this out of the way. Let's pop that down there for a second.
Nate, we don't have a new logo with all three of our things, huh? What have you been doing all week, huh?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, hold on. I haven't got the thing up. I've got to. It's weird. I've got to get the picture up before I press the present button. Weirdly, let's try again. Here we are. There we go.
Wow.
So the Wellington, first flight today, 15th of June, 1936. It was introduced in 1938 October and retired in March 1953. The Vickers Wellington was a British twin-engine, long-range medium bomber. The original specification called for a twin-engine day bomber, but despite this, the Wellington was used as a. Sorry, it's only wine. It's not. I'm not on the bourbon tonight. Sorry, it's me speaking too fast. Despite this, the Wellington was used as a night bomber in the early years of the Second World War, performing as one of the principal bombers used by Bomber Command. During 1943, it started to be superseded as a bomber by the larger four-engine heavies, such as the Avro Lancaster. The Wellington continued to serve throughout the war in other duties, particularly as an anti-submarine aircraft with RAF Coastal Command. The Wellington was the only British bomber that was produced for the duration of the war, and was produced in a greater quantity than any other British-built bomber. The Wellington remained as first-line equipment when the war ended, although it had been increasingly regulated to secondary roles. The Wellington was one of the two bombers named after Arthur Wellesley, 1st Duke of Wellington, the other being the Vickers Wellesley. So that's
nice.
Weird, but in the same year, one of my favorite planes had its first flight, and that's the Westland. If I can get the right one up. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. No, the Westland. No, we're not having that yet. Shut up. Get out of it. Right, get rid of that. Still haven't got the hang of it. Was the Westland Lysander. The Westland Lysander is a British Army cooperation and liaison aircraft produced by Westland Aircraft that was used immediately before 1936 and during the Second World War. After becoming obsolete in the Army cooperation role, the aircraft short-lived performance. I thought you'd come up. I thought you'd be up there, Thomas. The aircraft short-filled
for the win, baby.
Yeah, the aircraft short-filled performance enabled clandestine missions using small improvised airstrips behind enemy lines to place or recover agents, particularly in occupied France with the help of the French resistance. Royal Air Force Army Corporation aircraft were named after mythical or historically military leaders. In this case, the Spartan Admiral Lysander was chosen. And if you want to find out more, no picture, but if you want to find out more, of course, Thomas's Historic Wings SOE Lysander is the thing to get. I love the plane. It's a chunky, horrible looking thing, but I love it. The Lysander.
I love the picture too on there because it's not pixelated on his cover.
None of my pictures are pixelated now. I did it once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times, but then no more. Right. I've learned. So, yeah, 3 aircraft. We've got another aircraft as well coming up, which is what
we're not being negative. We're
I know. I can take constructive
feedback.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah,
that's right.
Where are we up to? Oh, yeah, 1940. World War II, of course, Operation Ariel began. And Allied troops started to evacuate France following Germany's takeover of Paris and most of the nation. Operation Ariel was the evacuation of Allied military forces and civilians from ports in western France. The operation took place from the 15th to the 25th of June 1940 during the Second World War. The embarkation followed the Allied military collapse in the Battle of France against Nazi Germany. Operation Dynamo, the evacuation from Dunkirk, and Operation Cycle from Le Havre had finished on the 13th of June. British and Allied ships were covered from French bases by 5 Royal Air Force fighter squadrons and assisted by aircraft based in England to lift British, Polish, and Czech troops, civilians and equipment from Atlantic ports particularly from Saint-Nazaire and Nantes. So that happened today. 1944, World War II, the United States invade Saipan, capital of Japan's South Seas Mandate. And the last thing, first flight. And this is a weird thing. I could never understand these sort of planes. I'll show you. You had a crafty look just now. The first flight today in 45 of the North American F-82 twin Mustang was on the 28th, was on the 15th of June, 1945. Let me show you that again because it's a weird it just makes me smile.
It's a fun aircraft.
Let me get that up. Where are we? There we are. In case you haven't seen it, we had seen it, but there we are. It just makes me laugh. These sort of aircraft. You've got two pilots in there now. If one's not paying attention and or has got the ump with the other pilot, you go right. Let's turn to port. No, I'm going the other way, starboard. It's just a crazy thing, isn't it? It's a crazy thing.
Yes, it is.
But this F-82 twin Mustang, the last American piston engine fighter ordered into production by the United States Air Force, based, of course, on the North American P-51 Mustang. The F-82 was originally designed as a long-range escort for the Boeing B-29 Superfortress in World War II. The war ended well before the first production units were operational. It was retired in 1953. There we go. I can never... the guy on the left's going, don't you dare touch that door. Don't touch the joystick. Don't you dare. So, yeah, I don't know how it works. But
and look at that. Historic Waynes tells us exactly what he was doing. Operating the radar.
Right. So he didn't have control. I'm going this way. No, you're not. No. I gotcha. But it's just a weird thing. So anyway, that's today, 15th of June.
And look at the comments. They're not Christoph and Historic Waynes. They're not taking me seriously because I don't have any games on my shelf.
Just give it time. Give it time.
Okay, it's okay. I mean, I got history books, so you take me serious as a historian.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my segment, actually, Ruff, because you mentioned something that happened today, reminded me to pull off a book from the shelf.
Was it Saipan?
I'm sorry?
Was it Saipan?
It is.
Because you went, oh, when I mentioned it. As only say, great, Thank you, Ruff. Thanks, Ruff. Right.
Yep, I really appreciate that. I had to take a World War II graduate class, and we read something like 9 or 10 books, something like that, in 16 weeks, and did a bunch of reviews, and we went and it was great. Really enjoyed it. A lot of work, but it was really good. And this was one of the books that we read, D-Day in the Pacific on Saipan, this by Harold Goldberg. Great book. It's really cool because you get sort of the picture of, the Normandy invasion obviously takes a lot of all the press for that time period, but there was also this going on at the same time. And it's incredible when you read about how hard the battle was to take that island. Even, just for how horrific. I can't go into detail, at least on here.
Interrupting, sorry, the Normandy, that was atrocious trying to get on the beach. But of course, that island hopping that went on in the Pacific was again,
yeah. And it's but it's a fascinating book to go through and see what it was like fighting there. And but I do have another book that I originally intended to show for if you ever decide to play this game, 1944, which I do have a video on this. I do a short playthrough of it, actually. And it's a wonderful game. Really like it a lot. It's a Mark Herman game. And it starts...
It's not a difficult game, is it?
No.
Because people think Mark Herman, oh, crikey.
Right. No. Okay. Not difficult at all. Just watch my video and you'll see how easy it is.
There you go. Over to Nate's channel, which is?
The Board Game Bunker.
The Board Game Bunker. Get over there.
And the cool thing I like particularly a slight detour is the one thing I really like about this game is it starts 1 month after D-Day with the Allies stuck in the bocage in Normandy, and it ends in May 1945. And so the game is about the race across France, and can the Germans slow and stop them, and blow up the bridges on the Rhine, to prevent the Allies from getting across the Rhine. But a great book that goes with that game is this. It's called The GI Offensive in Europe. It is about the American infantry divisions in World War II. It's from Peter Manzor. This is a great book because he really shows in the book how when the United States entered into World War II, the United States is not prepared militarily for the type of fighting that's going to be needed in order to defeat both the Germans and the Japanese. And so the first part of the book is about sort of the buildup, the logistical buildup of troops, of materials, supply, as well as transporting them. I love it. And troops and material, transporting them across the Atlantic and the Pacific. But this is specifically about in Europe. And one of the interesting things too is that there was no system in place for learning from the various engagements with the Germans. There was no system.
I'm just going to put that up because that's everybody's laughing at it.
And,
it's done with love.
Oh, of course. I don't take offense to that. But the neat thing about this book is he shows that initially the Americans had no system in place to learn about their mistakes. So an example would be when the Americans first fight the Germans in North Africa, and they get crushed at the Battle of Kasserine Pass. The book describes that there's no system in place for generals to discuss what did we do wrong, and how do we.
That to do with the sort of greenness of the troops.
Yes, it had a lot to do with that
big thing, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
But it also shows because there was no necessarily system in place. It does show that there was a lot of I guess you call a personal initiative that was allowed to be taken by American commanders in order to try different things, different tactics. So, like an example would be like Patton. Patton was given a lot of freedom to move quickly across France. But then there was political concerns because Monty was slowing down, and so they needed to give him more supplies. So there's a great scene actually in the movie Patton.
Yeah, well, they're trying. Because
he's doing the traffic.
Monty wanted to get there first, and Patton used a few expletives.
Of course.
No.
Yeah. And but it's a fascinating book. Went into this book during my class not expecting to enjoy it, and left the book absolutely amazed at how good it's written and how scholarly it is.
Yeah.
So,
great stuff. Yeah.
Jester.
Oh, before we do that, Jester, can I just say, please, I need all the help you can get. Make sure that like button is working. Would you do that for me?
Or the dislike button, since they want to provide constructive feedback.
Well, if they want to do that, that'll be fine. That's fine. But please, I need all the help I can get. Push that like button. Thank you. Okay.
Push that like button. Yeah. Don't be
shy.
People.
Don't be shy.
So this week, as you all know, we're counting down the top 500 board games of all time. We're at 450 down to 441. And we got a repeat winner right off the bat. Let me share my screen there, Ruff, for you. And I got to
This is what I find fascinating. If they're moving up and down.
Yeah, we had this one last week, but it's moving up the list because you guys are probably following along with us and you're seeing these games and you're checking them out, which is good. Agricourt 2022. 1 to 2 players, and weight of 3.61 out of 5. This is part of the BCS system, the Battalion Combat series of games by MMP. I hear a lot of good things about it. I don't own any of these games. I haven't played any of them, but yeah.
Everybody raves about the Battalion Combat system, yeah.
So it's number 450, and we saw this one last week. I think it was about 454, so it's dropped 4 places. So 449, Infidel, the Supremacy of Cavalry in the Crusader Era, 11th and 12th century. This came out in 2011.
That, by the way, is in the Minervine Tri-Pack. Yeah.
Yes, we're going to see several of those in this list this week that have been sucked into other games. This is obviously by GMT, 1 to 2 players, 60 to 120 minutes, and a weight of 2.91.
You don't realize how old some of those games are.
Yes.
Well, here's another one.
448, Beyond the Rhine, the Campaign of Northwest Europe, 2015. Nate, you could have used this as your game to talk about this week.
Oh, yeah.
2 players, OCS on the West Front, Campaign of World War II. OCS, which is Operational Combat Series by MMP. Very, Nate, look at that. All those counters. Look at them.
It's very old school. It's old school combat system. Yeah.
Look at
logistics
that.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you love lots of counters, you love hex and counter games, this is the one for you.
You win if you get the biggest stack.
Number 447, the Barbarossa Campaign, 2010. This is 1 player, solitaire, Barbarossa game.
Oh, it's one of the Victory games. All right. Not heard of this.
Yeah. From Victory Point Games. It's got a complexity of 3.7, so it's pretty complex for a solitaire game, too. Looks like you can pick it up for about $75, $85. Might be worth it if you want a solitaire game. 1 player.
They do go for I would say a daft price, these Victory games, which I'm pleased that people like Worthington, even though they're not cheap, are bringing out deluxe versions of some of them. So, but they do go. They're only folio games.
Nice looking counters.
Mm.
Yeah, not a bad looking game. All right, that was number 447. 446, Battlefleet Gothic, 1999.
I not heard of that one.
No.
This is, I think, a Warhammer spin-off.
Oh, right.
2 to 4 players, probably with miniatures. Yeah. And they decided to put it in the war games section.
Well, okay, fair enough. It's, okay.
Number 445.
Classic.
Campaign of North Africa, 1940 to 42. Came out in 1997.
I think Callendale played this not too long ago.
Yeah, there's obviously a newer reprint of it. But again, it's a daft amount of money. Big map.
Yeah.
But
tons
a classic.
Of counters, tons of big map. There you go. I mean, yeah.
Well, North Africa tends to be a long map.
And this is a side note. As you guys know, I was at Buckeye Game Fest this year. I talked to a lot of my gaming buddies and stuff. And a lot of my gaming buddies used to hang out and play the OCS back in the day. This fellow right here, Jim, he passed away a couple years ago. He was a great guy. He used to play OCS. So, yeah, I know this guy personally, but unfortunately he's passed on now. So that is number 445. 444, the magic number, 444. La Bataille.
Oh.
2011. Clash of Arms games. 2 to 8 players? Holy crap.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. La Bataille games are huge.
Oh, my gosh. Let's see what we got here.
1,400 counters.
Oof. It's a big one.
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
Yeah. I like it when people do this, when they put in like They take a picture of the counters, which is great, but then they put in this extra information so I have an idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah. Lobatai, though, there's about as many Lobatai rule sets.
That's
as
the only
there
thing.
are Lobatai games.
Yeah. You have to find out if you're playing an opponent which rule set they're using.
4 maps and 1,400 counters. Yeah, you're right, Nate. So 444 as Lobatai. 443.
Ah.
I love that box cover art.
Oh.
It just screams War of the Roses, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the content of the game. You know,
It makes you want to play it, doesn't it?
Well, it's got squires in it. Did we have squires in the Plantagenet days? I don't know.
Well, I mean, at least we got a couple of guys talking outside of a tent.
Yes, that's the important part.
That's right. And a random cannon sitting there.
I think that was one of the early game covers just after Roger McGowan left. And I think, oh, God, what are we going to do? Let's put that on there. They've got better since.
Yes. Obviously, 2023, GMT, part of the, Levy and Campaign series.
Yep. Thank goodness. I've step away.
All right. Our second one this week, which is the Accursed Civil War, 2002.
That's been revamped, isn't it? Of course, in the Pike and Musket dual pack.
Yep.
There's another one on the P500, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. I think me and Tony are due to play that in next week or so, 10 days or so.
Oh, that's exciting.
I was going to ask you guys about this because I was looking at Great Battles of Julius Caesar, and I know you guys have this is easier, this is easier, this is tougher, this is tougher. And I wasn't sure if that was the easier one of the series or the tougher one.
It's easier than Great Battles of History, but harder than Men of Iron.
Okay, so Men of Iron's the easiest?
Yeah, that's a great system. Yeah.
Okay.
The problem with that is that
442, number 441, Lincoln, come out in 2018 by Worthington Publishing. 2 players, 90 to 120 minutes, 2.49 out of 5. Reenact the Civil War at a strategic. Nate, at a strategic level.
Yeah.
If you can find a copy, that's the thing.
It's got cards.
It doesn't look interesting to me, unfortunately.
It's point to point.
See, Nate's going, that map's not big enough. Sorry, move on.
Oh, there's Nate. He's right there hiding behind this guy. Oh, Nate, we know who you are. There you are. So that is your list from this week in history. 450 to 441.
That's interesting. We've got some comments.
Well, at least people like it. They say it's a fun game.
It's Warhammer, that Gothic, Gothic one.
Oh, Blue Tweezers is here. Hello.
Yep, early beer tent. Yes, we've been there. There's a beer tent's over there, don't you?
Yeah, Edward, I went and looked up that game's cover, and yes, it is. It's bad.
What's Vicene?
Where?
You're English. You should know.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
Oh.
Sounds like a drug.
Visine is for your eye drops. It's eye drops.
Oh, we call it Optrex over here.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Musket and Pike.
I think it was a good list this week, though. I think it was a good list. Don't you guys think?
Yeah. I do look forward to it because I like to see also the games that are old that have now been incorporated into tri or dual packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to see a bunch of those getting swarmed in.
Yeah.
I think the Aircourt game looks. I had been tempted to get that. Probably right now I'm not. I got too many other games to try to get to, but Aircourt does look interesting because it's a small one map intro to the BCS series.
Yeah, and it's the intro, but it's still a little bit of money.
It is
to try out a new system.
Yeah,
I mean, Tweez loves it. Tweez in the chat loves it. Everybody seems to like the BCS. So
you can get it for 125. So
It's still
kind of expensive. Kind of expensive.
Yeah, for a one map game, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, thanks. Was that hit the like button? Please, hit the like button. We need all the help we can get. Come on, guys.
And the other thing is that book that Nate was introducing us to. It's 34% off on Amazon right now.
Oh, look at that!
For the hardcover, it's only $19.78, but there's only one left, so I'm going to buy it.
I mean, the good thing about Amazon you get secondhand. I love secondhand bookshops. I can't go past them now because of this lot. But
Ruff, did you happen to get the book that was $3 and something last week that I showed you?
It's on its way.
Nice. I hope you really like it. It's a good book.
But then, but it's nice and thin to go in the top there.
Look at that. It'll fit nicely there above flying colors.
Yeah, look where they are. Look, yeah.
So
the Kindle, they want $18.80 for the Kindle edition.
What?
And then they want $19.78 for the hardcover book.
Yeah, but people go, "Oh, Kindle." I've got nowhere to put books. It's like CDs. I've still got all my CDs.
You got all your CDs. What's wrong with you?
I know. See, but then you go Kindle. But no, the thing with CDs, it's like you open the
old friend
case and you pull out the thing and you see who was on the album. When you're using Spotify, which I do use, it just plays the thing. They're there. Maybe I should get rid of them and put some games up there.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I can't do that. Being a musician, I can't do that.
No, here's what you can do. You can get a YouTube account, or not a YouTube, iTunes account. You can take all your discs, you put them in your computer, and you upload them to your iTunes account, and then you literally have them anywhere you go.
Well, I've got them. We've got a Spotify account, so we've got them anyway. But it's just the fact that I like to go, who was playing guitar on that piece? Yes.
At least he has CDs and not cassette tapes still around.
Here's what you do. You go
8 tracks.
Siri, who played guitar on Nightwish's last album?
Yeah, I know. But it's nothing. It's like you want to use PDFs.
And then they tell us who was part of the good band, Troy.
Yeah, no. It's like playing war games.
Oh, I don't like using a PDF.
But he loves PDFs. I use PDFs, but I do love a rulebook. And a book. Like we're book readers, So we like to turn pages.
Yep. So what do you do with this?
I mean, what
do you do with this? So you book readers, hang on, let me get a game.
No, he's going to come out with some counter argument, and that's fine. He's allowed to, but it doesn't make him right. It doesn't make us right.
Oh, I know I'm right.
I'm just asking you what you do.
Sound like him now.
No.
Okay, Mr. Book Readers.
God, I hope.
What do you do with this?
I hope not, Tweez.
What do you do with this?
I think that will. Okay, so two things.
The errata sheet.
Two things. One is I agree with Tweez, by the way. Just wanted to make my comment there that I do think that's going to happen at some point. Two is when it comes to your errata sheet. So that's something that I look for when there's a game that I'm not exactly sure on, either the designer or if it's depending on the publisher, I'm going to watch for an unboxing, or I want to see if someone posts anything online. I want to see.
People hate unboxings.
Right?
No, they don't.
That's something to discuss later.
No, they don't.
But if it's got a sheet, so I'm gonna go read that sheet. What is it? Okay, like I have seen errata sheets that are 3/4 of it are clarifications.
Yeah.
Of questions being asked.
Yeah.
That's not errata. That's just people not understanding certain things, and that need to be
clear. It wasn't made clear in the rule book, and here's a thing to make it clear.
Yeah. Right, which is fine. That I don't consider that errata. When it's a whole sheet of we did this wrong, and oh, by the way, here's the correction, that lowers my morale to even buy the game.
Yeah, and it you see, yes. What do you do?
Here's the thing. all these changes that you have to make to your rule booklet because they were wrong, I don't have those problems because I have the updated PDF that's been already corrected.
True, but I mean,
So how do you know when your counter you put it in the wrong spot because there was some errata that you didn't see in your thing? Because you got a printed copy of the
yeah, I know. Yeah, what do you do? But you've been compassized, haven't you?
There's a new term today.
It didn't come from Compass. It come from the GMT actually.
GMT
has a living. They don't have a rule book. They have a living rule book.
Oh yeah, I thought that was Compass Philippine Islands. Sorry, the carrier one.
I mean, just wondering how you guys handle it when
it depends. It depends.
It does.
If it's like a pages and I mean, Target for Tonight had 9 pages of errata. And I'm working through and writing down in the rule book
Target for Tonight?
Errata. Yeah, 9 pages of errata. Yeah. And it's the one I want to play because it's the Night Fighting Brits.
And so you're going through your rule book and
I'm going to have to go through my rule book or print out a new rule book.
See, I agree with
have an iPad or anything that I can put a PDF on, apart from the computer, and that's useless when I want to play a game.
See, I agree with what Ian mentions. Okay, errata in the board, the player aids, the counters, things that I can't go print off is a killer for me.
Yeah,
living rules, I can live with that depending on what it is. If it's massive changes where the book that I'm given that I can't even work through and just note it to correct myself as I'm going through, and I have to just, like, for instance, the game Fatal Alliances I told you all about, that basically you're not even supposed to use the rule book that's in the box, and that just frustrated me to no end.
Well, then that's another thing, isn't it? Maybe the game. See, some companies spew out games at a rate of knots, and there are problems. If like you said, a game, if you buy this game, don't use the rule book. Download. They say, why have you bloody published it then?
Right.
So,
or if that's, I'll give Compass credit for, like, the example would be the game Nations in Arms that came out several years ago. It's on the French Revolution, Napoleonic Wars. It had, my understanding is the reputation of the rule book. The first edition rule book was terrible. It was
never
awful.
A truer word said in jest. You're quite right. But who wants to wait?
But Compass did is the design. There were a lot of updates to the rule book and things like that. And Compass eventually did is they republished the rule book. You could buy a new rule book with new charts and things like that had everything corrected from them for, I think it was like $20 or something like that, and they'll send it to you. So professionally printed. I would have
liked that professionally printed book in the box to start with.
Well, sure.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
because we're going to talk about got half an hour left. Talk about the subject. We've been waffling.
This book.
Hold on. Let's get rid of that. It's because of the Flying Colours series.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm ready for the topic.
Well, the topic is, it's our content creators, a good thing for war gamers, for wargaming. And I've put a few things in the description. Do they bring more people into the hobby? Do publishers take notice? And if they do, is it just free advertising for them? Do people enjoy them? Do they influence your buying habits? And are their videos helpful in learning games? Those sort of things, etc. What do you think, guys and girls? I say guys, when I say it's a non-gender, I've got to be so careful. It's a non-gender thing. It just means peeps. I say peeps. Okay, peeps. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I would say the main of all those
as YouTubers, let's have our. What do you think, Jester?
So, of all the points that you made, I will say the most important one is game companies do not
Tell us more.
No, he's joking.
Use YouTubers to the fullest extent that they should, in my opinion. Being a YouTuber, I do have a skewed opinion of this,
and these are our opinions when we say
it's my opinion. I don't believe there's a lot that myself or Ruff or somebody else could do for these game companies, and they don't use us to the fullest of their extent of their abilities. They expect us to supply the information without readily giving it to us. And, like just what games are coming out? When are they coming out? What games are being shipped to the printer? Like if we had that information sent to us, we could then let people know, hey, did you know that Wolfpack is now sent to the ship, is now sent off? No, we have to hear it from Mike because we don't get this information from the company. It's just the companies. I can guarantee that if the companies would let us know this information and share it with us, we would be more than happy to share it with you. But we don't, because the companies don't share it with us.
Well, the thing that say this is quite a good point. That's terrible. You think that, but I understand what you're saying, because there are some YouTubers who are just an extension of the company. They get free games. I mean, we all get free games, and
I don't get free games.
Oh, okay.
I've never received a game from a company.
But yeah, but the games I receive, if I tend to be companies I trust, like VUCA and such. But yes, some people are just spewed out games, and you're never going to hear a bad word. You see, if I get a game that I don't like, it won't be on the channel. So because I don't want to say anything negative against anything, because I don't like it, somebody else might like it. So if I don't like it, I don't put it on the channel, let somebody else do it. But yeah, that's terrible that people think that YouTubers are just...
I think there is a lot of the negativity is, oh, this guy is just saying this because he got a free game. That's why I don't get anything for free, so I can say whatever I want, and nobody,
and that's
nobody's pissed off because I said something bad about their game.
Yep, and I don't do reviews and give my opinions on the game. I do playthroughs. So
I will say
their own judgment.
I will say in response to Jester, in that I know that an example would be GMT does a monthly production update, which is pretty extensive on where things are, and they give like what box covers and maps and counter.
How do they do this?
Huh?
How did they do this?
Well, it's on their website.
Okay, so that wasn't the topic. The topic was, do they use the YouTubers to the fullest extent? I'm saying no, they don't, because they can be more than happy to share this information. They could send it to me directly, or Ruff, or whoever. And we could post it on our website. We could post on our. We could talk about it on our show.
I think the problem with some of the companies, like GMT, is they don't reach out. They want you to reach in.
I've never been contacted by GMT for anything.
They want you to reach in,
sure,
and say, "Hey, I've made a video," and then they put it on their web, instead of reaching out, or just having somebody keeping an eye on the YouTube and seeing who's doing what.
Exactly. The only time that our show has ever been mentioned is when we sent the videos that we did with Herman. We sent the videos to GMT and said we did an interview with Herman on Plum Island Horror. And then guess what? We were in their little monthly.
I will say, I don't know.
Anyway, don't want to gripe about our problems. We want to see what the public think. And I mean, thank you, because it's not a cheap game. But I'm glad and I hope you're loving it. And I do love the game. I hope you're enjoying it. It's got its problems, but I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you. And this is what would, yes, it's what I do. If I'm looking at a game, I look at unboxing, see what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And even if and the weird thing about unboxings, even if I've done an unboxing, I'll watch other unboxings because I like to see their take on it. Yeah, and then I like?
Here's the thing: if GMT was to send you, Ruff, I'm just using you as an example. GMT says, Ruff, we're sending you all of our games this month. If you do an unboxing for us, that'd be great. would you not do an unboxing video of each of them and show people what's inside the box?
Unboxing is just I don't do an unboxing in depth about let's have a look at the rules, let's see what I think. It's an unboxing, for God's sake.
Right. I mean, if you did an unboxing, it would drive a lot of interest because I mean, how many people in the chat just said I watch people's unboxings and I decide whether or not I want to buy it?
Unboxings get 1,000 views on my channel. You know, it's people moan about them, and I understand it.
Easy,
but there's just as many people, and they go, "Oh, it's easy." Yeah, sure, but there's just as many people who like them as don't like them. Sure. Because it gives them a quick look at what's in the box as well. They go, "Well, that looks interesting," and then I look out for some playthroughs.
Oh, I like the components.
Yeah,
I like the size of the map. I like how many counters there are. I don't have to worry about punching 12 counter sheets because now I see
this might put people off. There's 15 counter sheets? No, thank you.
I mean, I don't know. I'm a little torn.
Great. That's brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah, content creators were outside of, like I said, the professor that showed me when I was in grad school about war games. Content creators were the first things that I went to go find, about games on YouTube. And I will say this, that I used to watch unboxings a lot and would go even, games that I already own. I would watch the unboxing because I'm interested in hearing the perspective of the person who's unboxing it. And
he's not taking this seriously, is he?
I love it. But I don't watch them anymore. I don't watch any unboxings anymore, mainly because I've watched too many unboxings, and I'm not going to name any channel necessarily. I would put them all in the same category. I could. In the unboxing, sometimes there's a comment of, well, here's the unboxing, and then I'll be giving you my thoughts on the game as I play it, or I'll be making more videos about this game, and it never, ever comes. And so all I hear is preliminary opinions based on what's in the box. And sometimes sometimes it's a little irritating too, in that I watch an unboxing and I can clearly tell that the individual who's doing the unboxing doesn't have a clue what this game's about, doesn't have a clue, what the game, You're
talking about my channel again, you tinker.
Yeah, of course. Every single video, Ref, all of them. And I look at it because, like, if I'm trying to make an informed decision, then I want to find content from someone who actually knows about the game. So I'll give you an example, like someone that I will say an example of someone that I do like their channel and I like what they do is the Player's Aid. They do an unboxing, but then later on, they don't do reviews of games they don't like, which I kind of wish they would do more. I think
what they will do, if they're sent a game, they'll do an unboxing, but then you don't see it ever again.
Sometimes you don't see it. I know that they don't do reviews of games that they don't like.
Yeah,
but they will do reviews of certain games that they do enjoy, and that I'll go watch the review. I want to see, okay, what's this game about, and so. Yeah, I don't know. Unboxings don't really do anything for me. I know they get a lot of views, they drive a lot of, but I don't know. I'm not interested in.
And that's great. And a lot of people think like that, but a lot of people like them because it shows what's in the game. And it depends on the unboxing. An unboxing, somebody does and there are YouTubers that do a 3-minute unboxing, and you can't really tell, oh, here's the counters, here's the rules, and when I do and I'm not just saying me, when I do my unboxing, I will go through the rules and look at the rules, and I might not understand what's going on because and I'm not going to sit there. There's some YouTubers that do unboxings and spend 3 hours reading the rules and then apply it like it's the first time they've seen it, so they come across all sort of knowledgeable. And I don't do that. I'll read through the rules and go, well, this looks interesting. Or if it's a game series like GBOH or the 40X series, what's coming up. I go, this looks familiar to those that played the game before. and I do it slow enough so if people want to stop it and read the rules, they can. But it's a good my unboxings, I hope, are a good sort of, this is what you get, and this is the rules, and this is how many rule pages you've got, how many handouts. So yeah, I because I like them, I do them.
Well, the point is that game companies don't use the YouTubers out there to the fullest extent. They don't supply the information so they can give you guys the information and share it with you. They don't supply the games to do the unboxings. I'm not saying they should. Don't get me wrong. There's two different. I'm just saying there's things that they could do that they don't do, and for whatever reason,
they're not obligated to.
Yeah,
Edward said earlier. Well, doesn't the marketing department, aren't they supposed to be in charge of getting the information out? Yeah,
well, I'm not sure these game companies
do things like that.
I mean, I would say.
But that's a great point, and that's my philosophy. I do playthroughs rather than reviews because I don't play the game enough to give my honest opinion if it's good or bad. Playing the game, and as Ian says, you can see whether or not you're going to like the game. That's my philosophy.
I mean, I understand the idea, that possibly companies aren't using content creators to the fullest extent that they could.
Think maybe it's turning, but I don't think they realize how much influence some, if not all, YouTubers have on their sales.
Sure. I will say this obviously the Board Game Bunker, we haven't done a lot. We've only done a few videos. We do plan on getting more, hopefully in the near future. But I will say this as, I guess, a content creator or whatever you want to call it, that both Ryan and I, when we started the Board Game Bunker, we both said to each other that when we start this channel, we're not looking for anything. We're just only doing this because we enjoy it.
Exactly.
We enjoy sharing our love for what we play. And
have you booked your first holiday with the income from your YouTube channel?
Right. We're not interested in if it never makes any money, that's fine. If we never get a free game, that's fine. If nobody ever wants to a company doesn't ever, want to send us something or want to reach out to them, that's fine. That's them. They can do whatever they want. But for us is we do videos and podcasts because this is what we enjoy. We enjoy sharing that love. So if someone wants to join along with us, then that's fine. We'll invite you to come join us, but we're not out looking for it. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm still Ruff, when you sent us the email about what the top would be, I'm still thinking it through. And I think part of today for me is I'm thinking out loud.
We're involved. We're involved. Yeah. And are we celebrities? Are YouTubers celebrities? Because it's such a niche within a niche within a niche.
Yeah.
I
can absolutely 100%. And we've talked about this already, but I have made many people not buy games because of what I've said about them. And I've also absolutely 100% have made people buy games because of what I said about them.
And same
so
here.
whether the game company likes me or not, my voice has a say in their sales. Believe it or not, it does. Now, when you have me and you have Ruff and you have 20 other people, there's going to be people that are going to be watching these people and listening to what they have to say.
Yeah, and I've had comments saying you've cost me money. Oh, I bought this game,
right?
And I just wish they would tell. I should say, or let X know, whoever it is, the company, that you saw my video and you bought it, because I think they need to be aware that maybe
game companies should realize.
They sell a lot of games through content creators, putting blood, sweat, and tears into something.
Yeah, we should try to get on board with a couple of these guys so they say nice things about us. And I said earlier in this show, I love Undaunted Stalingrad. It's great. It adds a campaign. Blah blah. I wasn't getting paid to say that, but I'm sure, through the years, people are going to watch this video and they're going to oh, I've never heard of that game, and they're going to look it up, and they're going to find out. And maybe even during this show, somebody went and bought Undaunted Stalingrad because they heard me mention it.
No need to be personal. All right. I'm just being silly.
I think he makes. I will say this. I think he does make a good point, though.
He does. There are, okay. Again, it goes back to. It depends what clueless means. Is it clueless? You don't know the rules, and you're doing a video, or you know the rules and you're doing a video and you still make mistakes. I mean, yeah, you're going to make.
It's the difference between the people that do it for the love of it and the people that are getting paid to do it.
Yeah, you get people that
getting paid to do it.
And they are clueless at some of them because they get paid. This is a paid promotion, and they get this box in and they just waffle on for 20 minutes, and they haven't got a clue about the game. Not so much in our genre. We don't get it so much in our genre, but in the non-war gaming world, it comes up. This is a paid promotion, and they waffle on about something. They've not played the game. They received it this morning. They've done a video so they can get the money. Yes, that's a bad thing.
I was going to say, Ian kind of preempted me on, I think, war game content creators.
Let me get through these.
War game content creators could learn quite a bit from the Euro game content creators.
You're right. It doesn't.
In terms of, the way that they present games. Like having good lighting, having good audio, having a well edited video that is not full of us and let me go check this rule and there's dead silence while a person is trying to find the rule in there.
That
frustrates me as a viewer because I don't want to sit there and watch someone read a book.
Neither. Why I see there's certain things that annoy me, and you've highlighted a lot of them. Which is why I make such an effort not to try and do it like cough, snort, go away, look at a rule. There's a pause button on your camera or phone. I'm pretty sure.
You can edit it.
But then the thing is, again, I haven't put a video out for a while because of things happening. But now I've got Skies Above Britain. But it's an 1.5-hour video, and it's taken me longer to edit that thing because I know I'm not a Stuka Joe, and I know I'm not a Poindexter. But I want to do the best I can with the equipment I've got. So it takes a longer time because I want to put something out, regardless of whether or not I mess up some of the rules, whether or not somebody would be willing to watch an 1.5-hour video.
Well, and that's something that I saw not too long ago. There was, I can't remember the name of it. There was a Euro game board game channel that they were discussing a game, not a review, but just sort of, this is our thoughts, initial impressions of the game. And when they were referring to an action that you could take as a player, it moved to the board itself, and you were actually watching them take the action, which took more time to produce that because you have to actually film you making those moves on the board and then put it together while you're talking over it. It takes more time, but it's helpful for me as a consumer to try to figure out, oh, this is what I can do. And there's a connection between what I'm hearing and seeing and what is actually happening. And it can help me make a better decision on whether or not to buy a game.
What Edward's saying is, the thing is, this is what, do they use this as free advertising? Yes, what they do is I get it reshared. If I put a video out, I'll put it on Twitter, X, whatever it's called. And GMT or whoever, Compass, will share it or redo it. They won't actually release the video. So they do use us.
I was going to say, I haven't seen a video from any game company out there. War game, especially for the war game community, they're very, they don't want to put a lot of time, effort, and money into.
Well, they do sometimes, and some of the companies we've been talking about do, but they're atrocious.
Who? I've never seen one from GMT.
GMT are putting out just for Skies Above Britain. Gina,
I was just thinking of that one.
Skies Above the Britain?
It's like really far off.
Yeah. Gina puts.
You're just watching two people take stuff out of a box, and like, well, you don't even see what's in a box.
That's part of the problem, and we've discussed this. Like, game designer should design the game and give it to a game company, and the game company should produce the goddamn game and then let somebody else video it and do all the, the tutorial on how to play the goddamn game.
I mean, but just think about this. Think about from a company perspective, why spend all the time and effort to do all that when people are just going to do it anyway on YouTube for free? So
I mean, at that point, the reason they don't, Chris, is because I know we're going to do it because we love the hobby.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. If they don't, how do I put it? Again,
do it anyway.
Based on Edward's, comment.
Oh, look, the grill is raining now.
Yeah.
Sorry, break just a second. I feel
I'll be back.
All right. Thank you, Koi.
I do
like doing them because the reason I do them because it's the first time I've looked in the box as well. So hopefully a sort of comes across because it's right. This is
well. The one thing that I will say that I greatly appreciate in your videos, Ruff, is you actually spend time to have good lighting, so we can actually see what is that you're filming.
That's the first thing that somebody told me is the higher the definition, the better the lighting's got to be. And you've got to record in at least 1080. Mm-hmm. So that needs light. I've got to look at my lighting. I want some more. But this thing's cost money. What do you do? Buy lighting or do you buy, a game?
Right. Blue Tweezers makes a comment later on, I think is very... I
will get to it. I will get to it.
A lot is the videos that Jerry White did about Atlantic Chase before the game came out sold me on the game too.
Yeah.
It were very well put together.
I mean, with war games, like they're only producing like 5,000 copies. It's not like they're producing 50,000 copies. So if 20 people listen to what I have to say, that's like 2% of what they're going to sell. So yes, I do have a big say in whether or not the game is going to be successful or not. And when I mean me, I mean YouTubers in general.
See, I love Dave Gaming Cave. He's relaxed. He's laid back. He makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. But I like his sort of attitude. He's playing the games because he loves them. And he's playing games, again, that I like to as well. I like to play as well. And a few of them I've gone, I better get that.
Have you ever watched the Watch It Play, the YouTube channel? They do every once in a while there's a GMT or a war game on there. And it's great to watch. Okay,
but
how do I actually play this game?
It's a big channel that's got all the resources that people like me.
Sure. But he started small. He started small. It took him time.
But he got through. His main thing is board games, not war games.
Correct.
He suddenly thought, a bit of this, a bit of that.
He does love war games, though. I did watch a video this week of his where he mentioned his first war game was Empire in Arms. It was a super complicated game, but he loved it.
But he knows what side his bread is buttered.
Well, sure. So the general board game hobby is.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, no, I'm not having a go.
Yeah. No, I didn't think you were.
No, but this is the other thing. This is why unboxings and things help, because you look at a game and think, well, that's good. And then you get out 4 maps and you go, oh, God, not for me. Sure. So,
Atlantic Chase.
No, it's fine. I've got no problem. Behave.
Blue Tweezers, you are a celebrity, man.
Well, you got a lot of catching up to do here, Ruff.
I know. I'm trying to get through as much as possible. Keep talking, you rotters.
Well, I think, yes, I do think that
Charles,
what is our goal as YouTubers? How do we fit into things? I mean, we all find our own little niche to try and fit into a little tiny hole somewhere. My hole's way over here, Rough hole way over here. There's no communication. There's no consensus.
No Kilroy. You know this. Don't.
Can you get paid for doing
this?
Of
course, he's just taking. No, he knows we don't.
I mean, I will say this, Jester. I mean, I like in the war game space. I like the different things that each of the content creators bring to the game, so to speak. and I love hearing different perspectives on a game. So the player's aid perspective is going to be different than, say, Ardwolf's perspective or your perspective or Ruff's perspective. And I like hearing them all, and it helps me as a consumer for when I want to go buy a game of, is this game for me?
So I have to put up with.
Fails completely. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we're still waiting, Blue Tweezers, for your Knock Paris Railroad rules video.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're still waiting on that, Tweez. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I do, and I play Vassal with Jester and Tony and all that. But to watch a Vassal, I find it very. I mean, Wise Guy is doing some great stuff with great games, but he's playing them on Vassal, and I do find it hard to watch Vassal. Why is that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, everyone, all the YouTubers that we talked about, I do things different than Ruff. Ruff does things different than the Player's Aid. Player's Aid does things different than everyone else. The viewers out there are going to find the 2 or 3 or 5 people that they learn to trust, and they're going to listen to them and understand what they're doing. Phoenix Knight as well. I mean, he's found his little niche, and he's doing his thing his own little way. And people will find you, and they will listen to what you have to say. That's why we're there. If it was just us unboxing a game, nobody come watch it. But we're there listening to what we have to say. And whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah, so. I mean, the kind of important thing is all of us content creators, I guess, is, why do we do this? And why are we creating content? And it's not just for kicks and giggles. We certainly, both of you guys put in a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of brain power thinking about what kind of videos do you want to make and who is that video geared towards. That takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort to do that. And people I know in this hobby, at least, and in this niche of a niche, really appreciate that. And they appreciate the time, even if a company may not come on and say, hey, we really like this, we would like to partner with you or whatever. It is at least good to know that there are those who appreciate and will voice that we appreciate what you're doing and we appreciate the perspective that you're giving us. You're helping me as a war gamer, as a player, become a better player, become a better war gamer, and it helps the hobby in general produce better games.
I hope so.
I think it does, because we give attention to the good games, the games that have good mechanics, the games that are worthy of being played.
Nobody wants to spend hours videoing a game they don't like, just
right.
to let people know it's out there.
I think those can be constructive, especially to show people this is why this game failed, and give constructive feedback as to why it failed.
Yeah, but that's if you decide that and then somebody else plays it and go, this is a fantastic game. What's it talking about? So that's why I don't do it. But I think the general opinion is that, unfortunately, YouTubers are good for wargamers. Maybe the people making the wargamers don't appreciate the YouTubers as much as they should. And I don't mean paying them and all this sort of thing, but just a bit of
I'll get my check.
No, that's not going to happen. Just a bit of oh, thanks, guys. Here's a game to give away at your end of the year show. That might be nice. Yeah. So, we've come to the end of the 2 hours. A great thanks for everyone for.
Yes, we had a very lively chat. It was wonderful.
It was great, and there's lots of, and I couldn't keep up with the chat. I eventually caught up, and now they're still doing it. Yeah, and that's good.
Here's the last thing I will say about it is, for all you guys, if you're watching this later on YouTube or whatever, find 5 or 6 YouTubers that you can trust, because there's certain YouTubers out there, as we talked about previously, they will just do whatever, wherever the money's coming in. Find those YouTubers that you can trust. They'll give you the honest information. And then you make your own decisions. That's all.
Yeah, same here. That's again review. I don't do reviews. What if you want to watch my playthroughs? It makes you buy a game and spend money. I'm sorry, but enjoy the game, and I hope you love it. You know, and and that's the reason I do it, because there's somebody else playing a war game that I like. So before we say goodbye, thanks to everyone in the chat. It's been brilliant. 60 odd people again.
Thank you,
Jester. What's happening?
Well, I'm going to try and finish up my the struggle for Zorn tonight, and then going from there. I'm not sure. Just whatever
takes your fancy.
I'm open for suggestions. If you guys have a suggestion or something you want to see, I keep saying this in my videos. If there's something you want to see, leave a comment, and maybe you'll get it.
Yeah, Nate, what's going on?
I have to say, I'm in a
I know you got your FUD going on. Sorry, your PhD. So.
Yes. So that takes up a lot of my time. But when it comes to gaming, I mean, I am, like I mentioned in the green room beforehand, that I'm working on my Death in the Trenches review, and that's about half finished. So that's good.
So you're actually doing a review rather than a playthrough.
Yes, an actual review, and I'm trying to be as extensive as I can to give a lot of
course, you have played it extensively.
Yes.
So you can do a review. Yes. That's fair enough.
But I'm tempted to go back into World War I again, because the Great War in Europe I mentioned, I played it once and so I thought maybe I'll give it another go. I'm tempted.
Is this video Death in the Trenches? Is it going to come out at about the same speed as Rough, so we can expect it next year sometime?
But well, it's going to come out alongside Rough Stalingrad Z video.
That is a quandary. My first quandary. Yes, for me, we've finally finished the first playthrough of Skies Above Britain.
Everybody's dead.
No. Well, maybe. Who knows? Because it took a long time to get, again, it's quite awkward to video because you have to zoom in everywhere. And I want to make sure, because of the feedback I got, that, people can see what's going on. If that goes well, if it doesn't get wrecked and pulled to pieces because I've made such a pig's ear of it, and there's always that chance, of course, the second one will start videoing next week, and it should be quicker because the first one I'm getting used to, not the rules, but the way to video it, and things are cropping up that didn't crop up before. So if they crop up again, it'd be fine. So that should be out next week. I hope you like it. I hope I didn't make too many mistakes. And if it's all tickety-boo, we'll sort of whiz through the other patrols, and then I've got to decide what to do next. 2 things. I don't know.
Be prepared for those comments on at 26 minutes.
Yeah, and if you do leave a comment, if I got something wrong, for goodness sake, leave a timestamp. Because it's an hour and a half long, this video.
Why did you move that counter down southwest?
Which one? When?
Where? What the hell are you talking about?
That sticker is not symmetrically on that block.
Yeah, and I tell you what, and I'm not doing a review, but may do a sort of wrap up at the end, we were talking about earlier. But it is a good game. I am enjoying it, especially because I've got all my mates, all the subscribers, and all YouTubers with it as well. Makes it a bit more personal. So that's for me. Anyway, once again, everybody in the chat, boys and girls, fantastic comments and everything. I hope you enjoyed the show. It seems like some of you did, which is nice. If you haven't done so already, push that like button, because it helps the old tickling of the algorithm to let us to get the channel a bit more sort of out there. So once again, thanks everyone. And remember, as always, we all love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Until next week, which is over on Jester's channel. Take care.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.
See you next week.